didn't have to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts, just beware of the thorns.
Hello YouTube. Everybody on the people on the live was wanting me to, on the live stream was wanting me to do a video, but the day before I was released, so I'll do that. I don't count the day I was released because I left it like at 7:30, so I'm going to do that, talk about that. But if you're new, subscribe. If you like prison content, comment, give me your thoughts on this, share this. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going to start back to when I first got my date, release date paper. The I.P.O was actually rooting for me, and so he got it, and I got called to the caseworker's office like right before lockdown, and so I go in there, and he goes, just now got this. He goes, I thought you wanted to see it, you know, I wanted to give it to you. And when I saw a release date for November 16th, November 18th, I'm sorry, 2016, I was just shocked, you know, I was surprised. You know, you're hoping for a date, but when it comes, you know, after 20-some years, you're kind of surprised. Anyway, I go back and lock down. Well, when they let us out for lunch, everybody was wanting to know why I was called back there. I couldn't say nothing, you know, because then they'd get suspicious. So I told a few of my people I was close to, you know, hung around with. And the next day, by the end of the next day, it was all over the prison. But one of the things that happened, I'm gonna get to my day before I was released in a minute, but this guard comes by, and my cellie, you know, he asked how me and my cellie's doing. We said, all right. He starts to go on, and my cellie tells him that I had a release date. He said, yeah, I heard. He goes, if I get done making my rounds, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to congratulate you and everything, and I'm going to give you a hug. I said, you ain't touching me. You know, and well, he came back around. He looks up in the bubble, make sure the guards wasn't looking. He comes in there and he grabs him. I mean, I told him again that he wasn't going to touch me, but he did anyway. And he said, congratulations. And he goes, you know, as he's leaving, he says, you know, get over it. You know, because I was kind of upset. And I said, man, you know, it's not like I jeff with you or anything. You know, why'd you do that? And he goes, you never caused me any problems. You know, so you're all right with me. And anyway, he goes on, and I was kind of upset about that for a few days. But anyway, they put me in the hole because of my level got dropped. I was in a single-man cell for a month, waiting to get transferred. And anyway, I ended up getting transferred. Anyway, first I went to Algoa, and then I ended up in Farmington with about 5 months left to do. But those 16 months, from the time I got my date to the time I got out, they drug by. You know, I thought time went by slow before. When I got my release date, it really slowed down a lot. And so anyway, I'm in Farmington, and I ended up with I worked in a laundry, and I ended up in this room with, see how many were, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with 8 other people, and one of them I knew from the walls, and one of them I knew from South Central Correctional Center. In fact, he'd been my cellie before, so he ends up being my bunkie. And so that was good, you know. But he was actually in another room, and then we put in a move pass to get him moved over there where I was at. But so that's how that happened. But when it came time, like the day before, I had to go around and sign papers for everything. I mean, library, medical, everything. Even if I didn't have no books out, I still had to go to the library and sign, saying I didn't have any books and this and that, you know. There was a few guys, like the other guy that was in the room with me. I sold him all my cassettes. He had a double cassette player, so I sold him my cassettes. Sold the Walkman I had, the cassette Walkman, and you know, I told you the story where a kid told me it was obsolete, so I sold it. Pretty much sold a lot of stuff that I had, you know. But the day before, like I said, I had to go around and sign everything, and I had to take all my personal property up there. That meant TV and personal clothes and all that. I had to take that up to the property room. So I get up there, and they're asking about all this missing stuff, you know, like the Walkman, the cassettes, and a few other things. I think the beard trimmer, razor. I can't remember if I think I had a beard trimmer, not a razor, electric razor. But anyway, I said, man, you know, I lost that somewhere along the way, and they just kind of laughed. You know, they knew what I did with it. And so then I go back. And me and my bunkie, we talked about old times in at South Central Correctional Center. He told a few stories from St. Louis when he was in St. Louis. We talked about me getting out, you know, and he was right behind me. It was like the next August, I believe it was. See, I got out in November, and I think the next August he got out. But excuse me. But he talked about things he was going to do when he got out, or planned on doing, you know. And I told him I'd stay in contact with him and everything, you know. He's a good dude, and I'll have to do a video on him sometimes. You know, he's kind of funny too, and not much of a talker unless he really knew you, and I mean knew you for a while. So there was another guy there that was at South Central Correctional Center too, and he worked in the gym as well as my bunkie. When we was at, all three of us, when we was at South Central Correctional Center, we worked in the gym, and so he was there too, but he was in a different room, and so I couldn't hardly sleep that night, and I mean, I was excited, you know, nervous too. So the next day, I mean, I think I finally fell asleep, but I didn't sleep a whole lot. So the next day, around 7:30, they told me to report to the property. The yard had opened. So these guys, my bunkie and this other guy I knew, they walked me up to property, you know, and we shook hands and left. It seemed like me and this other guy that was leaving with me, we went through room to room to room and building to building, you know, signing paperwork and this, and they gave us a bunch of paperwork too, you know, that some of it I didn't even know existed, and but there's a bunch. And then we went to visiting, and they gave us a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and it was a warm day that day, that morning, you know. By that evening it would be cold, but at that time it was pretty warm, so I didn't even think about a cold or anything. And plus I was too excited to think about that anyway, you know. There's so many things going through my head. So we get outside and waiting on rides, you know, and these guards coming in was all, they was friendly as all get out, you know. How you guys doing? I'm glad you made it out, this and that. And we're, you know, the regular guards, you know, didn't really bother me, but I was really amused by the ones that I knew was jerks. I mean, straight up robo-cops in the prison. All of a sudden they see us outside the prison as they're coming in, and they want to be all friendly and everything. So that's how the day before I got released and the day of my release went, and you know, the rest of it, I think I did a video when the whole trip getting home and everything. I think I already did a video on that, but you know, there's just so many emotions going through me, you know, and I've told people before, I was just as scared getting out of prison as when I went into prison, if you can believe that. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye. I think I've sat for long enough that I can turn the recording off.